I'm going to slur all of my words to make this show last a hell of a lot longer because I'm going to be doing this by myself and I lack a whole lot of sleep. So if you see me yawning halfway through this or a quarter way through this or every 2 minutes, please forgive me. I was watching E3 all morning. I sacrificed a hell of a lot of sleep for it as well. Shout out to J. Mark Leong, if that's how you pronounce that. And I hope you guys don't mind sticking around for the CSGO show, because today we're talking about SK lifting some obscure-ass trophy for some tournament that no one knows about. Astralis being liquid at ECS where they had like no clips because it was badly advertised. What? I'm Jaeger. Carrigan talking about Olaf Meister and him not joining the roster after being on hiatus for so long. Hiatus. And Henny and Lucas joining a team. So, we'll get into that. First, we're going to talk about SK. SK lift the Mochi XL Esports trophy over Hellraisers. Moshe Mokhe. We're not sure how to pronounce it, but rest assured, SK won the trophy against a bunch of really not contest teams. The path they had to take, to get there. Let me bring it up for you. So the other teams that joined this obscure ass tournament was Movistar Riders, Spanish team, Tempo Storm, European team, Windstrike, some Russian team, Giants. Don't even know what the hell that map is. Sorry, not map. Flag is. Hellraisers in second place and SK in first place. First place winning $25,000. So SK beat Hellraisers, who were probably, they were the best other team in that. I'm not sure why SK joined. Of all the things they could have joined, why Mochi League? They just want to win some money, I guess. So, SK being crowned champions of Mochi XL Esports after defeating Hellraisers 2-0, 19-7 on cash. I'm actually surprised that went to overtime, and 16-9 on overpass. Well, I could have rolled with it. Anyway, the title decider kicked off on SK's map pick. Cash, Hellraisers got ahead early after winning the CT-sided pistol, in which Jake Yip found 3 opponents in a 1v5 situation but was unable to finish the clutch and the subsequent anti-ecos. SK then picked up the first gun round despite Hellraisers immediately countering them. They kept tearing apart the defense with a calm playstyle. So, I didn't watch the actual game. I was not interested at all because it's not a high level tournament. You'll notice that there have not been a lot of high level tournaments recently. So the news has been scarce. We did not appear on Friday because, again, news has been scarce. I'm wearing a hat, by the way. Didn't shower. In case you needed that thought in your mind. You wouldn't want to come near me right now because I don't smell very good. I smell fine, actually. I use very good deodorant. Dove. Anyway, we have a couple of clips for this tournament, and the first clip is from WXC. So WXC got a 3K with an AWP. Here you go. WXC. Yeah, WXC got another kill there as someone crossed, but the camera didn't catch it apparently. And Bolts, he couldn't catch that either. So there it was. That was the 3K from WXC. Coldzera found that, but it was a shutdown there. You always hope there's going to be a clutch happening there, but not exactly. So there you go. That was WXC's 3K. Next we have a Coldzera 3K. Actually, the majority of these clips are Hellraisers. So here's Coldzera playing from on the site. Spotted the arm, and he's very good at those fast readjustments. It's always sick. It's always sick watching Coldzera get those plays. Okay, so there you go. That was Coldzera. getting a 3K with the AWP. I'll just go on to the next clip. Nothing really else to say about that. Dead Fox M4A4 3K. That's actually a really sick spray down. Yeah, that's done already. So, yeah, if you want to talk about the talent on Hellraiser's side, Dead Fox is probably one of the standout performances. He's played for a bunch of other teams and he's been not exactly consistent, but he's had some sparks of life in his career that are worth mentioning. And I mean, how many foxes are there? Dead Fox and Fox. There's also Winter Fox and Echo Fox. A lot of foxes in CS:GO. It's even my logo. Maybe I should change it to something else. What animal suits me? Sloth. Armadillo. Dolphin. Dead Fox 2v1. That's to get the win. That's the second. That's the second highlight from Dead Fox. This was an overpass. The second map, and I like how they didn't spot bolts hiding in a corner. So a 2v2. I mean, it's sort of an anti-eco-ish. MP9 out, and well, that should have gone a lot better than it did. The bomb didn't get. Okay, the bomb did get planted. That's a countdown for the bomb. Interesting. It's a good one kill there. But yeah, Dead Fox. Just, I mean, that's all he really needed to do there. So that was another playthrough. Sorry, not a playthrough, a highlight. And here's the last one for Hellraisers. WXC 3 AWP kill. Bleh. That's also on overpass. He went for that shot, to be fair, but there's no way he's hitting that. That was an insane shot. Really fallen out AWP'd here. Oh, look at SK on match point. Look at the viewers. They're so sad. They're so sad. They're just expecting it. This is just gonna be a stomp. So, SK 19-17 on the first map and 16-10 on the second map. That was the score line, and it was really it's this kind of tournament. SK are just flexing. It's like they can go to any of these small time tournaments and win it no problem. That's what $5,000 per player. The fifth, the fourth, third, is it third, fourth? I know the fourth, fifth got $1,000 each. Second place like $4,000 and 25,000 for first place. Is that right? Okay. So for SK they got 25k, Hellraisers 15k, Giants 4,000, Windstrike 4,000, Tempo Storm and Movie Riders $1,000 each. So easy game for SK. I don't know why they join tournaments like that when they could be performing so much better, but they don't seem to. They're just farming up money. I'm not sure for what. Maybe they're waiting for the shuffle, which will probably be happening eventually. Actually, we got a hint of that in the last topic we want to talk about today. But in other news, Astralis beat Liquid 2-0 to win ECS Season 5. So ECS, that's it's a London game, and this is the 5th season. This is the one that's owned by Bardolph. I can't get the information coming onto my phone. Let's go. Come on. Is the internet just slow in here? Let me just close HLTV so I can bring it back up again. How are you guys today? You good? You eat lunch already? You waiting for your early dinner? Early dinners are great. I'm not vamping. This is all scripted. Every show is actually scripted. What the heck? You are offline. Is the stream still going? There's no drop frames, right? What? It's good? Okay. So HLTV isn't loading. But basically, Astralis beat Liquid 2-0 to win ECS Season 5. Astralis, it was Device that got the MVP for that tournament. And, I mean, almost entirely expected. Astralis currently, we would still say they're the top team. Hi, Mig. Hey, bro. They're currently the top team in CS:GO, and since Device got back, he's been on top of the world, playing really well. He's actually surpassed Dupree again, because Dupree was an amazing AWPer, but Device has taken back his throne, and he got so many kills in that tournament. I mean, I recall seeing a tweet from Taco where he said, "I'm gonna drink tonight, to forget the pain of the loss from today." And Magisk said, he's the happiest he's been in his life, winning that tournament, because he's so happy to be on a winning team. And it's been a long time since he's been on a winning team. He was in North before that. Kierby and Magisk switched places, and so for Magisk to finally get a spot on a team where he can sort of perform, he was bottom fragging, but it's like someone has to bottom frag, you know. And so that's good for Astralis. Liquid getting to the finals of that's also very good. But I mean, you're thinking of who fought who on the way to get there. FaZe was not a full roster. They actually didn't even have exist for this tournament. They had some other stand-in. He was kind of obscure. I don't know what team he came from, but they were playing with a stand-in because Olofmeister, he's still on hiatus. So we do have a clip. There's just the one clip because HLTV couldn't provide anything. I don't know if you can pull this up because it's from Streamables and not from Twitch. So try to bring up the Magisk Pistol 3K if you guys can. There you go. I film es this time. That's a good turnaround, actually. Magisk hitting those shots. That's not bad. So, yeah, that was the one clip we've got. I think that's courtesy of Nico of Black and Blue, who couldn't be here, but still managed to help me finding all this stuff. So, thanks to you, buddy. Thank you to you. So I'm switching my Wi-Fi, but I guess that's not working either, huh? Anyway. So Astralis beat Liquid. I'm not sure what the prize pool was for that, and I think Astralis beat Fnatic before on the way up. Team Liquid beat FaZe, which is actually a pretty strong performance from them. And I don't know, Team Liquid, would I say they're a top team right now? I don't think so. Are they on their way to get there? I don't know. It's a long way to go, you know, and they're still playing in with Taco, and Taco has still been bottom fragging. Let me pull up. I got the information now. There should be a list of the teams that were in this tournament. So yeah, it was Luminosity, Cloud9, G2, Fnatic, FaZe, NRG, Liquid, and Astralis. NRG actually got fourth place, along with FaZe. That's $65,000 for them. For Liquid, 125,000, and Astralis 250K. That's a big prize pool, actually. 130, 155, 255, 500,000. That's $600,000 prize pool. That's £500,000. Yeah, and Astralis got $250,000, $50,000 per player. Well, minus the cost that goes to Astralis. And I mean, you look at the reactions from the chat. Astralis era, boring era, Virtus throw. Virtus wasn't even there. What are you guys talking about? Luminosity got thoroughly thrashed. And so I'm hoping their new lineup is going to be way stronger. There is currently an Asian regional finals happening at the moment, as well as a European one and American one. And that's for the Zotac Cup. That's 300,000 USD prize pool, which is not bad because the finals are in Hong Kong. It's very rarely that you get a CS:GO tournament happening in Asia. So that should be really interesting. If I can go, I mean, I'd love to. WXC Plus funds to go to Hong Kong, and I'll live stream it. It's a good use of the money. I'll ask Koya Nick. Don't worry, guys. I'll take you to Hong Kong with me, and they'll pay for my phone and everything. So yeah, that's the news for ECS. So now we're gonna move on to topic 3, Karrigan on Olofmeister. We have to look into our options for the future. It's a full interview. If you guys can pull up the screenshot, and I'll read to you how the interview went. There you go. So this is an interview that HLTV had with the IGL of FaZe Clan in light of Olofmeister announcing his second leave of absence from FaZe. So it was a pretty tame interview, and it's kind of nice to see what's happening behind the scenes in the big teams like this. So the first question he asked, what was your preparation like coming into this event? And Karrigan said, obviously we've been playing with Exist for a while, and Olofmeister came for a few days of practice, but I wasn't ready at the point, so we really didn't know what to do. We only had a few days to find a stand-in for this tournament and for Belo Horizonte. So Croman came in, and I think he's been doing a good job. It's tough to play the first few matches with him, just getting used to each other, but he proved those people wrong who have been questioning his abilities, especially on Mirage, I think. So Croman was their stand-in. I've never heard of him doing anything impressive. The fact that they got to 3rd, 4th place with a stand-in is actually pretty applaudable. So well done to them for that. So interviewer went on to say there obviously aren't many players to choose from when stuff like this happens. How do you end up getting them? So this is an interesting thing and things that you have to look out for, because it's not like in the Philippines where CSGO teams shuffle players around all the time. In Europe and America, you got teams that are actually contracted to teams and to brands, and so you can't just switch players. You actually have to buy them out or get a loan from someone that's currently freelancing. So that makes it way harder if you're a top team like that. So they said, so there are a lot of things to consider when you have so few days to find a player. There's obviously contracts. You may have to loan a player without knowing for how long. You might have to take him from another team and all that. So we have Croman. So we saw Croman was free on the market after having played with Heroic, and he impressed us in Dallas, so it was quite easy to pick him since the rosters have locked right before we found out that we had a substitute. So they had very little notice to get Croman, and that is very difficult, especially for a high-level team like that, because you want to like have chemistry already when you're playing against Astralis and Fnatic and Team Liquid. So if you went on to ask about Olofmeister, which everyone is wondering about, I know the stuff with Olofmeister is very personal, but there's been some talk about his latest leave of absence having to do with something different than it initially was. What can you tell me about that? And Karrigan said, I can't really say much. It's up to FaZe and Olof how they want to communicate it. I mean, Olof, just say what's happening, dude. What the hell happened? We just hope he does come back. We have no idea when it's going to be. Obviously, we have to focus on ECS and Belo Horizonte, and then we'll have to see what we're going to do for ESL Cologne and E-League. Talking about ESL Cologne, I'll bring up something later that WXC said, because he missed out on an opportunity for ESL Cologne. Anyway, and then the players' break comes through, and then a lot of things can change within a few days. Going on to say, as you were saying, you were doing well with Exist, and Croman seems to be an okay fit so far, but still the core of the team. How does it feel for them? And you continue being forced to use a stand-in. So this gets into more territory that Karrigan was like kind of saying how he actually felt about Olofmeister ditching them. I mean, we were doing quite okay with Exist. We knew that it would be temporary and just over the summer. When Olof came back, and we were thinking now we're ready to rock and roll, and we're going to come up with stuff for these tournaments, but then suddenly it didn't happen. So obviously on the core side, it was kind of a hit to our motivation and a slap to the face. A slap to the face. But we're here. We're just going to do the best that we can, and I think that we're good at incorporating new players into our playstyle. We play pretty simple, and with the role Olofmeister has, that's actually not many tactics that he's actually in. So that's the big reason for why we have an easy time implementing new players. We can still run tactics with the old core. if I'm thinking about players that can actually replace Olofmeister permanently until he gets back, they should be looking at Lekro, because Lekro was replaced by Exist on Fnatic. It's Exist moving to Fnatic is such a weird move, and I'm surprised they still went through with it, especially how Exist was playing with FaZe, and especially how well Lekro has been playing. But if Lekro moved to Fnatic, Olofmeister was purely like, he used to be a top fragger, and then he became more of a support player, and he's been consistently bottom fragging with his teammates. That's along with Karrigan as well. He's IGLing, so that's not a good sign for Olofmeister. Ever since his injury, he's not been on the same level. We've seen him at an insane level, and he cannot peak ever again. I don't think. I think his days are already finished. So you're calling this a slap to the face. So how do you, as the leader, try to soothe it? What do you guys have to do with the other guys to feel better? So we have to reset and remember that this is still only for the time being. At least we know that we're playing with the same player for the next 2 tournaments. That's a big help on the motivational side. So all in all, I'm just happy Crone had time and that he was able to play for us, because otherwise we'd have to play with Robin. That sounds like a diss. Poor Robin. So that's advice to the players out there, to the teams out there that have a hard time motivating their team. Remember, if you have a stand-in, they're going to be playing with you for enough time that you might be able to mesh something and make something work. So always keep that in mind. I know that you said you can't tell us when Olofmeister will be back and that he only knows, and that only he knows, but for how long do you think you can keep on implementing stand-ins before it will start affecting your form negatively? It's going to be hard from right now. Astralis is the best team in the world, and I think nobody can really challenge them. I think we're the only team that can, winning 5 of the 11 maps they've lost in the latest months. I think we're the only team that can, winning 5 of the 11 maps that they've lost in the last month. So that's an interesting statistic. FaZe are the only teams that have beaten Astralis, and that's 5 out of 11. So they've missed out. They're 6 points behind, 6 maps behind. So it's going to be hard for us to keep implementing people, and I hope that after Belo Horizonte we have a clear idea of how long this is going to take, for how long we will need a stand-in, or if we need a permanent replacement. We have no idea yet. But it's definitely something you have to think about then, replacing Olofmeister completely. So this is the thing where it's like, okay, who would they replace it with? And I've given my thoughts, and I think Lekro should be the one to replace. Yeah, we have to think about, after Belo Horizonte, how we want to attack the last 2 events, and then there's also the major restriction coming into effect coming in July. So we have to look into what our options are for the future. So that's the entire interview for Karrigan and the thoughts on the future of FaZe. Can we see FaZe winning again and be at the top of the charts? Definitely, if they find a permanent replacement and it's someone that's good and not consistently bottom fragging. If the bottom fragger keeps switching, that's generally a good sign, because it means that you have whoever is on the bottom is performing at one point or another. That's how you always want it to be. So there you go. That's the news for Karrigan on Olofmeister. So now we're going to move on to topic 4, which is Henny and Lucas joining Luminosity Gaming and Showtime and PKL being replaced. So Lucas and Henny have been on now Tem Como for quite a while now. They were the original roster. They wanted to be winning alongside KNGV and Phelps and FNX. But we're not sure exactly what happened, but they wanted to leave. They wanted to go back to Brazil. They wanted to take a break and come back on a stronger team. And this seems to be the move. Moving to Luminosity is probably one of the strongest moves for the Twins, because they're never going to play a part. So the fact that they had 2 slots pushed through, and they're replacing the IGL and one of the strongest fraggers, so they have to be confident in their abilities. So shout out to Zorn DS, by the way. Sup, Peter? So yeah, we can bring up the screenshot. Here it is: Luminosity, Showtime, and PKL out, Henny and Lucas in. So this poses a very interesting question. Will Henny and Lucas be able to perform on Luminosity, and who is going to be the IGL? Well, here's a tidbit of information just so you guys know, in the announcement, the organization revealed that the twins have been acquired from SK Gaming, which suggests that Henny and Lucas had already signed contracts with the German organization prior to leaving Nautem Como in March. This is the biggest piece of proof we have that SK are moving to Mibber. Mibber just made their Twitter page, and Mibber, if you guys don't know, stands for Made in Brazil, and it has the commercial for it was really cool. It had every Brazilian winner appear, including Ayrton Senna from Formula One, and including a very fast clip of a CS:GO montage. It came by so quickly. So that was the biggest hint that SK Gaming were gonna move to Mibber, and that now Como, the current roster being FNX, Bit1, KNGV, is it Yell? Got the other two guys. Actually, I can just bring it up right now. So yeah, the current team is. Oh, bring it up. Phelps, Cello, KNGV, FNX, and Bit. Cello, yeah, he's one of the new boys. He's the Brazilian Coldzera, so they say, since Coldzera is already Brazilian. They're going to be acquired by SK Gaming, which means that's why they've already moved to Germany, because they can be housed by SK Gaming immediately, and they can practice EU strats, and they'll be doing all of that. So there'll be a new SK Gaming, and the fact that they signed so early that it was evident that Lucas and Henny were moving to SK since March. That is a big indicator that they've been planning this for a long time, because SK knew that their contract with the current SK roster was going to run out this month. So I think the change is going to be happening this month. So I'll read out the article to you. The duo will shortly join the rest of the team for a boot camp in Katowice, where they'll start their preparations for the upcoming tournament, namely DreamHack Open Valencia, which will happen on July 12 to 14. Showtime and Pickle have been two of the three longest-standing members of Luminosity, alongside Captain Gustavo Yell Nittel, who is now the only remaining player of the original win-out squad that transferred to the North American organization in July 2016. That was when SK poached the lineup. This marks the second time the Brazilian team has gone through changes in as many months as Lucas Steele Lopez and Rafael Zac Fernandez replaced Marcelo Cello Casperes and Alessandro Apoco Marucci in late April. We are grateful to Luminosity for this opportunity. The LG jersey carries a big history in CSGO. We have had some time to reflect on the past and realize some of our mistakes, the twins said in a joint statement. We've grown as people outside the game, and it will help us as a team help us as teammates in the future. We are hungry as ever, the same feeling we've had in Games Academy. We want to bring Luminosity CSGO back to the top where it belongs and make all of our fans proud. We will earn your respect and your cheer. Thank you. So that was the interview from the two twins. And do I think this roster could be strong? I think so. The current roster is Yell, Nekiz, Steele, Lucas, and Henny. So if you guys know your Brazilian history in CSGO, Lucas and Henny played with Steele in Immortals before all the drama happened with KNGV. So that's going to bring a certain amount of familiarity into the team. Steele has not been the most consistent fragger. I feel like Steele should have been one of the players replaced, because he just doesn't perform. Taco replaced him so quickly on Team Liquid, and it's like Steele's just not at the level that everyone else is, and the role he plays, it's just wrong. If he wants to be a better support player, that would be a lot better, but he doesn't even do that. He's mostly a rifler playing right now for Luminosity. So it's just a shame, but can they do it under Yell, under Nekiz? Yeah, I think so. Nekiz especially, he's one of the best riflers I've seen in a while. And Yell, he can op, but Henny is going to be the main opper, which is going to be a big plus for them. And Lucas as well, he's been pretty consistent because he grew up with Games Academy. That's Fallen's training grounds for his players. So that this roster, what can they do? Well, 3 of the members being in a previous major, that's a big help. They nearly won against Gambit. They fought very hard to get to that point. It was what, 3-1 in the end. And I mean, a lot of people were hoping for Immortals to win. They were the underdogs, but it's just they didn't have, I feel, the fragging power they needed and the IGLing they needed. Right now, SK Gaming still looking a lot stronger than this Brazilian roster because KNGV is just so consistent. FNX is a veteran. Bit's a veteran. Yell is young and hungry all the time. And Phelps, again, young and hungry. So they have a really good lineup. So I'm hoping SK Gaming do well. Rusty looking for the sked. Don't worry, dude. The CSGO talk is almost over because that was the last subject that we had to talk about today. And not much news this month in CSGO. I'm going to run you through a couple of the headlines in HLTV that have happened today. So Ghost confirmed the Torqued Trio. So if we talked about that before, the Torqued Trio, sorry, where they moved over from Torqued didn't shut down. They moved their entire roster. But now Ghost's current roster is Steel, Kusta, Polo, Sub Rosa, and Wardell. That's the current team for them. They got 1 Asian with them. Device wins the ECS Season 5 MVP award. If you guys want to know about the level he was consistently playing at, he had a 1.11 rating in the end, and he won 71% of all his duels. His total kills were 44. Which is not that great, but he got the MVP, which means that all of Astralis were performing at that level. Shout out to Jellybean, by the way. What's up? What is up, friend? Sweet friend for dropping by. Thank you very much. Touches my heart. Imperial Sign Crystal. Is that a female player? No. Kevin Crystal. Mancanor as well. Shout out to you as well, buddy. Now, there's a news piece that I saw that WXC made, but I can't seem to find it. It was basically about him missing out on the opportunity for ESL Cologne, so that's a shame. And he steps down from Gambit. Yeah, so basically that's all the news. Not much happened this week or the last week. It's like an off period for CS:GO at the moment, so it's hard to find anything to look for. I mean, for the next couple of days, you're not going to have any major teams playing. There is going to be EC Mountain Dew League with Australian teams playing. LDLC will be playing on the 16th if you're interested in that kind of game. But mostly it's the Australian side. And we actually don't see when the next time you're going to see FaZe, Astralis, Navi, Fnatic, SK Gaming, Team Liquid, Cloud9. All those teams are going to be playing for a little while. So it's going to be a bit of a break. We'll see what happens if there's going to be another Ruch C on Friday. But I think that should be it for the show. We got nothing else to talk about. If you guys have any questions, that's totally fine. I'll answer them here or on my page. If you want to follow my page, that's Sir Jaeger Gaming. I make CSGO content and PlayStation content, general gaming. It's casual gaming and CSGO. And J-pop, but don't get into that because I'm a fucking weeb. I'm a fucking weeb. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the stream there if you guys don't mind. Lars, can you end that? You'll play that ending music. There it is. There it is. That means I'm going now. So, thank you very much for watching, my dudes. Jellybean, thank you for dropping by. Zorn, you buddy. Mig, Mark, and Mancanor, thank you very much, guys, for commenting. And we'll see you when I'll be back. Also, there's not going to be the duel today. Rain is wreaking havoc on the world, and I don't mean Rain the caster. I mean Rain, the weather. It's flooding outside of High Grounds. I can't leave. I live here now. Goodbye, guys, and take it easy.